Guys, you'll never guess where I am. It's not sunny Greece, I'm not back in California. I am in Kyiv, Ukraine, and Kyiv has changed a lot since this war started. Definitely more flags from fallen soldiers, and the numbers go up. These are flags put by family members, friends of people who died in the war defending Ukraine. But also, you can see the weather has changed a lot as well. But one thing that is still standing strong is Maidan. This is where the heart of everything happens. You can see winter has arrived. I've been so used to saying winter is coming, but I think it's here. It should be warm down here still. And it looks like it's open and with electricity. I never come here in the summer because there's so many other places to go. For the winter, it's actually a really nice little mall. So I went to the mall to buy some gloves. I ended up buying Call of Duty instead. It's only 699 krupa. So if I have electricity, I'm gonna start playing this, I guess. I can almost ice skate here, guys. Back home. I just realized the irony of this. This is Call of Duty Cold War. It's the first time I ever played a Call of Duty game, but this one is the Soviet versus the West, so hopefully the West will win in this one. So this is Ukroposta, the post office of Ukraine, of Kyiv. This is the new stamp. So every month they have a new stamp. So this was the Russian name for the bridge, and now we respelled it in Ukrainian. And here is a remake of Titanic, but on the Crimean Bridge, the Cursed Bridge. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna go inside to see if they actually sell it, because they do sell out of these pretty quickly normally. I think this is where the envelopes, the stamps are sold, but it looks like it's closed. It's such a beautiful post office, guys. Oh my god, really beautiful. And they do sell some swag here, so let's see what I can buy. As expected, they're sold out of the stamps, but you know what? We'll need the stamp. We have this beautiful big poster. Take a photo in front of it. How about that? So these change pretty often, but there are different stories of the past. So there's the old coin, you got the classics, and the different symbols from kind of throughout generations. Kind of the story of old Ukraine, guys. It's kind of cool. You know, I'll be honest, I went my whole life trying to avoid the winter. I grew up in San Francisco, and I moved to LA because San Francisco is too cold, and Southern California is much warmer. For those who haven't been to San Francisco, it is cold in the winter. We do have a few days of nice sunshine, but in general it's foggy and cold. LA is what people expect California to be. But even then, I don't know. I think I ended up moving to Thailand because it was even warmer. And I thought that having a stable, perfect, comfortable life was the best existence one can have. And I thought everyone else was silly for not just wanting to live in the endless summer. I mean, who wants to deal with driving in snow or dealing with any of this? I've been back for about 1 week, and the very first day, if you remember that video, it was sunny. Maybe not sunny, but it was bright. It was like, I don't know, plus 12, and it was bright. So even in my apartment with the lights off, it was still very bright. And then, like, literally overnight, it got cold, started having a little bit of ice, and then 1 or 2 days later, it started to snow. And I think this is just the start. This is just the start of a cold winter, guys. I walked in the store to buy some gloves, and ended up buying a new jacket, guys. This one should be warmer than the one I was wearing. We'll see. I really like that blue and yellow puff jacket I bought in England. but I could tell it was already on the verge of not being warm enough for this winter. Like, it was still okay, but like on the verge. So figured might as well contribute a little bit to the Ukrainian economy and buy a nice little warm waterproof jacket for myself. My company called Trespass. I've never heard of it before, but seems pretty legit so far. Warm, good material, waterproof. Hopefully it'll get me through this winter. I do still need some gloves though. This is why you should never buy a Chinese car. This is a Cherry SUV. It looks like a RAV4, but you can't even get up this little tiny, like, I didn't even know this was a slope until I realized that there's a tiny bit of ice, but it's really nothing. And this guy had to his friend had to help him push it up. Let's see if he can get out by himself, okay? Cherry. It's like the Lada of China. Like, it looks good when it first comes out for like a year, and then you realize it's a piece of crap. All right, so good morning, guys. Last night or yesterday, Kyiv got hit a lot by more rockets, and the water finally isn't working correctly. Luckily, it still works enough to wash my hands and dishes, but the shower just doesn't have enough water pressure. This building, for some reason, always had really strong water pressure where I was never even able to turn up the tap up more than 25%. It would just go everywhere to be strong. Let me show you now. Alright. So the tap, actually, it's fine. I can completely wash my hands in it. Here's my hot water. But with the shower, probably because I have to go through this pipe, it's I showered last night, but it's not the best stream. It's okay. I'm honestly not complaining. I'm actually more grateful that it works than not having any at all, because a lot of people in the city have no water at all. That's why you see people lined up with the fountains to get it filled. That park, one of those parks, the Schenkel Park, is actually just up the hill from me. So maybe 3 or 4 blocks up the hill, so half a mile. It's pretty close, but it is, it's not really a hill, but it's a little bit up a hill, so I wouldn't want to carry water up and down. It would be much more convenient to be able to, just open the tap, obviously, but the Ukrainians are very hardworking, intuitive, what's the word? And it's a word that we don't even really use in the US that much, to be honest. When someone can just get things done without, when things don't work, right? Ingenious? No, that's not the word. I don't know. I'm sure you guys know. You guys will comment it and say, but Ukrainians, they'll figure things out, right? If I realize, if we can't flush the toilet, guess what? We can go get some buckets of snow downstairs, let it kind of melt in the house, and flush the toilet that way. There's always going to be some way to survive out here. And this is why Russia will never scare Ukrainians into surrender. It won't work. There's too many people who are too unwilling to live under dictator or oppression, especially now that they've had a taste of freedom and true democracy in the last, however many years, really, just since 2014. And before that, the USSR didn't collapse until 1991, right? And then before that, there was so many different, wars and rulers. So they never really had true freedom, and now they do, and they won't give that up for anything. So So having low water pressure or having it completely run out, it's not a big deal. Yesterday, luckily, I had 10 6-liter things of water delivered. And that's another cool thing about living in Ukraine is, even though I live 3 floors up with no elevator, there's this company, this one's called Aqua Market, which actually just delivers water. And I got a case of beer just in case. They deliver. So I just did the calculation for liters for you. It's 16 liters, which is about, it's 60 liters, so 10 of 6-liter bottles. And that means it's 16 gallons, which is about 3 of those big office cooler 5-gallon things. So that should be more than enough to drink for, I don't know, a week by myself easily, and be able to use it for washing and cleaning. Actually, you know what? Let's go with this. I have really bad internet when the internet's out. When the power's out. But if I kind of stand by a window, it takes me a few minutes to Google something, but it works. I just looked up for you guys. So the bare minimum that you would need a day to survive and not die is about 1 liter. Ideally, you would have 2 of these, so about 3 to 3.7 liters, or half of this. So if I drank half of this per day, and I have 10 of them, that means for 20 days, I could technically survive. That wouldn't count, that wouldn't include, thriving or using it to wash dishes or to wash or to flush toilets and things like that. But yeah, just in general, it's nice to know that I have at least enough water here. And actually I had some under the beds in the closet before anyways. It's kind of this weird hack that I've always kept 3 of these in every Airbnb I've stayed in. So wherever I stay around the world, I always try to keep a little bit of water on hand just in case. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, so I should be good for 2-3 weeks without a big issue. And honestly, if there's no water, sewage, or electricity in Kyiv for more than 2 weeks, I'm gonna have to find some other way to get out of here, because it's that's pushing it, right? I think 2-3 days, I'll sit it out and see what happens. Ukraine's been really good at repairing infrastructure lately, even with the attacks. But any more than that, we should all think about getting out anyway. So yeah, it's nice knowing that if someone else was here, if someone got trapped here or they weren't prepared, I could share the water. So if you need some water, come on by, guys. Just bring in a bucket of snow so we can flush the toilet. And just as I was recording that, I got a message from the Kyiv whatever app, the city app, saying at 2 p.m. today they're gonna come and fix the water in my building. Voila! How amazing is that? This war has been terrible in so many ways. The one good thing that has happened from it is the utility companies and all government agencies have stepped up so much to get things fixed. Before the war, they would take their time. They'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, sometime next week we'll fix the water, it's out. But now it's we've got it done the very next day, and we'll message you about it to let you know exactly when. Thank you, Diaku. The facility companies, not Russia for attacking, of course. Finally happened, guys. Zero water. That's not good. Yeah. I was warned to prepare for anything, and I'm prepared. but it still sucks when it actually happens, you know? I thought I was really lucky when I got back. And I was like, oh. I mean, first I was kind of optimistic, thinking, well, maybe my street will have electricity. And luckily, I still have heating, knock on wood. Actually, let me check. Yeah, I still have heating. But, yeah, when I got back and I didn't have water, and I didn't have electricity or Wi-Fi, but I had running water, I was like, okay, at least I have water. That's the most important thing. And even though they're supposed to fix it later today, the fact that it's completely gone shows that it can be completely gone. And it's a little bit more real. I think like there's two stages of worry. One is when people over worry, and ironically, actually, it's mostly people who aren't in Ukraine who over worry and over prep. Like the comments I got in my last video, you know, were telling me ways to survive. Like if I was in a forest somewhere, or if I was here for, you know, weeks or months without running water or without electricity. And while those would be valuable, I don't ever plan on being here for months without running water or electricity. You know, luckily, you know, Ukraine is a big country, so there's different places to go. You know, right now the railroads still work. I have a car, there's buses. So if things really get bad and we have to leave, you know, that's always an option. But then secondly, because I am the city center of Kyiv, as long as Russia doesn't do anything too insane, or insaner than they've been doing now, things can get fixed and life can go on. So, you know, I've thought about this a lot, and it's scary to think about. So honestly, I try to avoid thinking about it, but if they did bomb my apartment, and let's say half the wall was gone and the windows were gone, what would I do? Would I rather be here so I can be here to fix it, or rather be out of the country where it's safe and I don't have to be in the cold? And as long as I'm still alive, I think I'd rather be here and repair it, especially during the winter, so things don't get more damaged or colder, assuming that it's possible to fix. So there you have it, guys. Never fall in love with a home or a renovation or an apartment or life if you don't want it becoming part of you. That's what I would say to everyone. My life as a minimalist, just 1 or 2 years ago, I had so much freedom. I could just rent a villa somewhere, you know, Thailand or Sri Lanka. You know, if I wanted to, I go to Bali or any of these places that are, you know, these cool places or warm places. But that's the life I didn't want. I'd rather have build a home and a life here. And even though Russia and Putin's trying to take it away from me, as well as, you know, hundreds of, you know, actually millions, tens of millions of other people, us staying here is kind of like a big FU to Putin and Russia, saying, we're not gonna let you guys do it. With or without water, we will stand, because we're not giving up to Russia. I had no electricity in my house, so I thought I would take my laptop over to this coffee shop called Word. Hopefully it's open. As you can see, it's a bit of a dreary day. Very foggy. It's a little bit rainy, but of course it's cold. It's 1 degree, which is why it's not snowing and it's raining. It's kind of this weird temperature where it'd be better if it was a few degrees colder. It would just snow. And this actually reminds me a lot of the weather in San Francisco when I lived there. I think the reason why I don't mind it here as much is because my apartment is warm, so I can get dressed. I can wake up, I'm like relatively warm, I can get dressed, put on my clothes, and then go out to the cold. Then I don't mind it. But when I'm in San Francisco and my parents' house is just as cold, if not colder than it is outside, then it's just miserable the whole day. And you never really have a chance to warm up, if that makes sense. I think this is why I used to take such long hot showers, but now I don't need to. Well, here's the coffee shop. I don't know if they're open. Looks like their windows are all taped up against rocket attacks. Oh, maybe they are open. Oh, it's nice in here now. It's warm. Oh, that looks good. Whatever that is. I didn't know they had breakfast here, but it looks really good. So this place is definitely more packed than it is normal, or usually. I think because none of us have internet or electricity at home, so we're all here working. Here's my little office of the day here. Not bad. It's 4 p.m. and looks like lights are back on in all the buildings, but I think my apartment's still dark, so I don't want to go home yet, but nowhere else to be. Alright, so I got home and there's no electricity still the entire day, so this room is pitch black. That's my living room. That's normally bright during the day from natural light, but it's only 5 p.m. It's already so dark. But here in my kitchen, I have a couple candles lit. Some in the hallway, and in my bedroom also. Where here's my office, and here's my bedroom. So if you like cozy, Ukraine has cozy for you, that's for sure. Now I'm anxious to check. It was the flash now because I'm curious to check if this water works. Oh my god, it does. Guys, we have water at least. Oh, I'm so happy. Well, we have water. Man, it's so nice to see my houseplants again. I feel so bad. My neighbors take care of them for so long. But very nice old babushka brought them back. Oh, there's dirt everywhere.
Ukraine and the urgent power crisis following devastating Russian strikes. The capital of Kyiv is now blanketed by snow. Temperatures are dropping below freezing throughout the country, and many residents are without power, heat, and in some cases, water. Crews are working tirelessly to restore essential services. ABC's